Hey, it's Don Skaggs with Empowered Inventing, the one place where we try to help you help other people by taking your great innovation, the right opportunity, mixing those things with sound wisdom to turn them into real things like products and businesses. Now today I've got a question for you. Can you patent a cookie? And you know, on March 6th, is known as National Oreo Day. So I brought a package of Oreos. Wish I could share them with you. It's allegedly the day that March the 6th is the National Oreo Day because it's allegedly the day that the Oreo cookie was patented. And that's the story that you'll find if you do a lot of searches on the web. And I thought this was interesting, so I thought I would just kind of look into this story a little bit and just see if it was true. And I found out that there was a registration number back from 1912 for the Oreo cookie. Registration number 0093009. Now it turns out that actually it was not March 6th like they made National Oreo Day. It's funny how things kind of get mixed up in the media sometimes. But it's actually March 14th, 1912. And it wasn't a patent, it was a trademark, which makes perfect sense, the Oreo cookie. Because there was another cookie that was just like the Oreo cookie that came out in 1908. So that's like, what, 4 or 5 years earlier, called the Hydrox. I don't know if any of you heard of Hydrox or knew what Hydrox was. Put a comment in. Can you tell me what you know about Hydrox, your story or your experience? So the Hydrox actually came out with their cookie, looks pretty much just like an Oreo, and they were actually around for a while. And I don't think they're available anymore now. I don't think they make them anymore. But it just kind of brought up the question of, can you really patent a cookie? Well, yes, sort of. Patent number 4,948,602 in 1988 was actually issued for a filled cookie, but actually it has more to do with the filling composition, I think, from what I was reading about it. So what does this really matter? Well, there's a lot we can learn from this. Number one, you can be first to market. Hydrox was around years before the Oreo, but they didn't market it better. Apparently, something about the Oreo, whether it was the name, because they were essentially the same cookie, but one sold better. And guess what? The best sold one would be the winner. Was the winner. So essentially, it's the same cookie, but you know, let's say it had a patent, and of course the Oreo eventually did have a patent. But you know, patent's good to have, but it's not the end all that everyone thinks it is. It's, you know, both had trademarks, by the way. Hydrox had a trademark. Oreo had a trademark. They had their name. But, you know, one was a little better than the other, I think, just as far as not the trademark, but the actual name. Oreo is just, I think it's a name for gold. They had it in a gold package. There's a lot of rumors around about where the Oreo name came from, by the way. Hydrox kind of sounded like a cleaning product. I've heard a lot of people comment and say that have kind of talked about that a little bit. So patents are good to have, but it's not an end all. It's not going to make the difference of whether you have the best product or not. Maybe somebody else has something that's also patented and it's a little different. It's new, it's novel, it's a little different. We talk about that in another video. But it's also not how many patents you have. It's how many products you actually sold. How many packages of Oreos have sold. And by the way, the Oreo is the best selling cookie in the world, which I didn't know that until I looked it up and read about it. So yeah, sometimes the name will mean a lot. You know, a lot of people, again, they thought Hydrox sounded, you know, like, and it's funny, they said, we came up with the name Hydrox, and I think this is kind of interesting here. We came up with the name Hydrox because it represents the creator. This is the creator talking of the name. We chose the elements hydrogen and water, and we just thought that was just a pure sounding, well, yeah, it did sound pure, sounded like a bleach cleaning product. So it just, I don't think it played out. Now, it could have been that. It could have just been that it was sold better in certain outlets. I mean, who knows? That's a lot of marketing history to dig into to find out. But bottom line, I'm holding a package of Oreos, and I can't hold a package of Hydrox unless I paid a lot for some kind of collector's box somewhere, probably on eBay. But what I'm saying is, Oreos are selling, Hydrox didn't. One came out before the other. Oreos actually beat them in the marketing game. So it's not how many patents you have, it's really how many products you sell. And that's really how you keep score. You know, I see a lot of inventors and they're all proud and they've got those patents on the wall. They've got, sometimes you order those bronze plaques that show your patent off and you can display them. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you have some of those, that's fine. I bought one for my dad and he's got it on his wall. So, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. But what I'm saying is when you have the trophies on the wall of here, Don, are all my patents, let me show them to you. And you've not sold any of these, you've not sold the actual products that represent the patent, I don't call that a success. You know, if you're doing it just to have plaques on the wall, you can get plaques on the wall for that. Guess what? I can go down to the trophy store and I can get a plaque say anything in the world I want it to. You know, Don's the best Oreo consumer, or, you know, just something crazy like that. So, by the way, I'm not going to eat these on camera. I might eat one later. So anyway, another thing is that you can build a lot of Rabin fans even though you're niche. And the reason I'm saying that, and this is the funny story about Hydrox, because fans that have had the Hydrox, because you know they probably died out, I don't know, a few years back, a few decades ago maybe, but they had fans, they had rabid fans that kept saying, well, the Hydrox, if you've had a Hydrox, then you're just going to throw rocks at an Oreo. You won't like these at all because Hydrox were just that much better. Now, I don't know, I've never had a Hydrox, so I couldn't tell you that. But these people like clamor that Hydrox was better and should be brought back. If you've got fans like that, even if you're a niche product, you know, when they were both selling, Hydrox probably wasn't, you know, they weren't going to the poorhouse with it, just some company probably decided to quit making them. You know, maybe they just, you know, said, okay, well, we're not making $10 million on this, we're just making $5 million on this. By the way, I've got a good video out there about it called Your $5 Million Opportunity. And they said, okay, well, we're just going to, you know, we're not making $100 million on these Hydrox cookies, we're going to delete them. So, but they still had rabid fans, and they really, really wanted these cookies, even when they went away. It's kind of like when they take a show off the air, and they've got all these fans that like write in and say, "Oh no, bring the show back, we want to see it." So you don't have to control a market to be successful. Hydrox was successfully selling for decades and decades and decades, right alongside the Oreo in some cases. So. Let's say you're niche, and this goes back to what I was saying about the $5 million opportunity. Maybe you have something that the big corporations just don't want to deal with because, oh, that's just a few $1 million for you. Hey, if you had people loving it, you had people buying it, and you know, a $5 million, a $1 million product a year sold for you might be a great thing. So there's lots of opportunities out there for inventors and entrepreneurs in that way in niche markets. I made my living, I built my business on what you would have considered in our industry to be a niche market. So you don't have to control the market to really be successful, and you don't have to be so successful that you don't have to be controlling the market to be successful, and for it to be enough for you to change your business and to change your life. And it really can. Lastly, you can actually improve on something that's existing and still have a winning product and maybe even a winning patent. Let's say you came up with the Oreo that did something that this Oreo never ever did before. It's never been done. It's new, it's novel, it's kind of like an Oreo, but it's different because it does this. That's a new product, that's a new patent, that's new, that's novel. And a lot of products are done that way. We've got another video we're talking to about that as well coming up. So anyway, I just thought you'd find this interesting. Can you patent a cookie? Yeah, sort of. You can look up the patent and kind of see. I don't think you could patent just just like a regular cookie. There has to be something new and novel about it. So anyway, I hope this is helpful. I'm Don Skaggs. This is Empowered Inventing TV. Be sure and like and subscribe. Help us to build our tribe. And I will look to see you at the next meeting, workshop, maybe one of our online classes, or on the next video.